Picture this. A guy walks into a dealership, hands over the keys to a truck he paid nearly $100,000 for just 1 year ago, and they offer him 60-something thousand to take it back. Not after 5 years, after 1. And here's the thing that's not some freak case. It's a pattern showing up all over the truck market in 2026. Because right now, across America, there are trucks that simply aren't moving. They're sitting on dealer lots, row after row, stacking up as days turn into weeks, turn into months, while the prices quietly get cut, again and again, just to drag a buyer through the door. And here's the part that'll surprise you. These aren't obscure flops nobody's heard of. We're talking household names. A Jeep that off-road diehards swear by, but the wider market flat out rejected. A compact truck that got steamrolled by its own rival. And yes, even some of the biggest, most trusted American badges on the road are quietly feeling the squeeze. So today we're counting down 7 trucks nobody wants in 2026, the ones rotting on lots, shedding value by the month, and turning into some of the deepest discounts in the entire industry right now. Stick around all the way to the end, because if you're anywhere near truck shopping, number 1 isn't just surprising, it might completely change the way you think about what a truck is worth. Kicking off our countdown at number 7 is the GMC Sierra EV, and this one's a perfect example of a truck that's great on paper and dead in the showroom. On capability, GMC actually nailed it. You get up to 760 horsepower, a tow rating up to 12,500 pounds, available Super Cruise hands-free driving, and depending on the battery. An EPA estimated range pushing toward 478 miles. That's a seriously impressive machine. So what's the problem? Simple, far fewer people are buying it than GMC expected. Here's the brutal math. As of early 2026, the Sierra EV was carrying roughly a 220 5-day supply. That means at the current pace. It'd take dealers roughly 7.5 months to clear the trucks they already have. Around 2,600 were sitting unsold, and in a full 45-day stretch, they moved just 522 of them nationwide. And GMC clearly saw the problem. For 2026, the company expanded the lineup with lower-priced trims designed to bring more buyers into the Sierra EV family. But even with a significantly lower starting price than the original launch models, demand still hasn't matched expectations. And there's another issue. A lot of truck buyers still aren't sold on EV pickups. For many shoppers, questions about charging convenience, long-distance towing performance, and overall ownership costs remain part of the buying decision. When people are spending this kind of money, many still prefer the familiarity of a gas-powered truck. A lot of buyers also look at the Sierra EV and ask a simple question. Why spend this much money when a gas-powered Sierra can handle many of the same jobs for less? That's been one of the truck's biggest challenges from day one. Then there's the broader market. Demand for electric pickups has generally been weaker than many automakers originally projected, creating a much tougher sales environment than companies expected just a few years ago. That means more competition for every EV truck buyer and more inventory sitting on dealer lots. That's what makes the Sierra EV situation so strange. The truck itself isn't the problem. The problem is that demand hasn't kept pace with supply. Trucks kept arriving. Buyers didn't. So you've got a genuinely capable truck stuck in a market that's cooled off fast and facing buyers who aren't ready to make the jump. The technology is impressive. The specs are impressive. The sales numbers? Not so much. And when dealers are staring at more than 7 months of inventory, that's exactly how trucks end up rotting on lots. But if you think one truck sitting unsold is rough, wait till you see how many of our next ones are piling up. At number 6, we've got a truck that proves something important. A pickup can sell like crazy and still be rotting on lots. Meet the Ram 1500. Now, nobody's calling the Ram a flop. It's got arguably the nicest interior in the half-ton class. It's comfortable, it's capable, and for 2026, Ram did something fans begged for. They brought back the legendary 5.7-liter HE MIV8 after killing it off the year before. On paper, this truck has everything going for it. So here's what'll blow your mind. As of early 2026, dealers were sitting on a massive pile of Ram 1500 inventory. At roughly a 162-day supply, that's more than 5 months of trucks waiting for buyers. For a vehicle this popular, that's an enormous amount of inventory hanging around dealer lots. Why the glut? 2 big reasons. First, price. A loaded Ram 1500 can push toward $90,000. And even many mainstream trims are landing in territory that would have sounded crazy for a half-ton pickup just a few years ago. Second, buyer confidence. Consumer Reports predicts the 2026 Ram 1500 will be much less reliable than the average new vehicle, and the truck has already been hit with multiple recalls, including issues involving instrument cluster software and trailer tow modules. And that's where things start getting interesting. Buyers today have more choices than ever. Ford, Chevrolet, GMC, Toyota, and Ram are all fighting for the same truck customer. When shoppers are already spending $60,000, $70,000, or even $80,000, even small concerns about long-term reliability can push them toward a competitor. Then come the discounts. Ram has been throwing serious incentives at these trucks, and in many markets, buyers are seeing thousands off sticker. Normally, that helps clear inventory. But when inventory keeps piling up despite aggressive incentives, it's usually a sign that the problem runs deeper than price alone. So you've got a truck people genuinely like, loaded with features, packed with capability, and backed by one of the nicest cabins in the segment. But you've also got rising truck prices, reliability concerns, heavy competition, and more inventory than dealers can comfortably move. The result? Trucks stacking up faster than they're leaving. And if you think a truck sitting on lots for more than 5 months is bad, wait until you see what happens to our next one. Number 5 is the truck that turns your money into vapor faster than almost anything on 4 wheels, the Chevrolet Silverado EV. And look, on the spec sheet, it's a monster. Top trims pump out up to 754 horsepower. You can get an estimated range right around 440 to 450 miles, among the highest in the electric pickup segment, and it'll tow up to 10,000 pounds. Chevy built a genuinely capable machine here. The problem isn't what it does. It's what happens to your wallet the second you drive it home. Here's the gut punch. Many Silverado EVs are losing somewhere around 40 to 50% of their sticker price in just the first few years. Those early rest models that stickered close to $100,000, a lot of them are now advertised used for dramatically less. And buyers know it, which is why they're not biting. The Silverado EV is sitting on a 199-day supply with fewer than 2,000 on lots and barely 400 selling in a 45-day window. But depreciation isn't the only thing working against it. A lot of truck buyers are looking at the price tag and asking a simple question. Why spend this kind of money on an electric pickup when a gas-powered Silverado can do many of the same jobs for substantially less? Then there's the reality of how people actually use trucks. Range figures look incredible on paper, but towing heavy loads can significantly reduce real-world driving range. For buyers who regularly haul trailers, boats, or equipment over long distances, that's a factor they have to consider. Charging is another hurdle. While public charging infrastructure continues to expand, refueling a gas truck is still faster and more convenient for many buyers, especially those who depend on their truck for work. And that's before you get to resale value. When shoppers see used Silverado EVs losing value this quickly, it creates hesitation. Nobody wants to spend premium truck money today and watch tens of thousands of dollars disappear tomorrow. On top of that, GM recalled the 2026 Silverado EV and its Sierra EV twin over an electronic stability control issue involving warning light functionality. The fix was a software update, but it's still the kind of headline that doesn't help when you're trying to convince skeptical buyers. So you've got huge range, huge power, huge technology, and huge capability. But you've also got steep depreciation, a premium price tag, buyer hesitation, and inventory that's moving far slower than Chevrolet would like. And when inventory starts piling up faster than customers are signing paperwork, that's exactly how trucks end up rotting on lots. Speaking of trucks, buyers walked away from our next one, got beaten so badly, the company just pulled it from the lineup. At number 4 is a truck that didn't fail because it's bad. It failed because almost nobody wanted what it was selling, the Hyundai Santa Cruz. And here's the twist. This is a genuinely good little vehicle. It's built off the Tucson SUV, so it rides smooth and handles great. The interior feels premium. It's got a clever, lockable trunk built into the bed. And depending on the trim, you get anywhere from 191 horsepower up to 281 with the turbo. Reliability ratings are strong. On paper, it's a charming, well-made truck. So what went wrong? The market straight up rejected it. In all of 2025, Hyundai sold about 25,500 Santa Cruzes. Its arch rival, the Ford Maverick, more than 155,000. That's not a close fight. That's a massacre. And the reasons aren't hard to find. Buyers looked at the Santa Cruz's roughly 4-foot bed and realized it couldn't do many of the jobs people traditionally buy trucks for. Then they looked at the price. On higher trims, you're creeping well into the 40s. And at that point, a lot of shoppers started asking why they shouldn't just buy a Maverick, a mid-size pickup, or even a conventional SUV. That's been the Santa Cruz's biggest problem from day one. It's stuck in the middle. Truck buyers often want more bed space, more towing capability, and a more traditional truck design. SUV buyers often don't need a bed at all. The Santa Cruz sits right between those two groups, and neither one fully embraced it. The result is a graveyard on dealer lots. The Santa Cruz is sitting on a 229-day supply with around 9,600 unsold and fewer than 2,000 moving in a 45-day stretch. That's more than 7 months of inventory waiting for buyers. And when inventory starts piling up like that, dealers usually start leaning harder on incentives and discounts. The problem? Discounts can help move a product people already want. They can't create demand that isn't there. Then came the final warning sign. Reports indicate Hyundai is preparing to discontinue the Santa Cruz after the 2026 model year and shift its focus toward a larger pickup better aligned with what American truck buyers actually want. That's what makes the Santa Cruz so fascinating. The issue was never quality. The issue was market fit. When a truck spends months piling up on dealer lots while its biggest rival outsells it by more than 6-1, that's exactly how it ends up rotting on lots. But if a little Hyundai getting ignored doesn't shock you, our next one will. Because this is a legendary off-road icon that dealers literally cannot give away. Now we hit number 3, and this is the one that should genuinely surprise you. It's not some no-name econo truck. It's a Jeep, a rugged, iconic, open-air off-road legend. And right now, dealers can barely give the Gladiator away. Let's be clear about what this truck is. It's basically a Wrangler with a bed-standard 4-wheel drive, removable doors and roof, real trail capability. That unmistakable Jeep DNA. For the right buyer, nothing else on the market scratches that itch. The trouble is, that buyer has mostly vanished. Check the trajectory. The Gladiator peaked at nearly 90,000 sales back in 2021. By 2022, it slid to about 79,000, then down to roughly 55,000 in 2023, and it just kept falling from there. Fast forward to early 2026, and it's sitting on a roughly 200-plus day supply with more than 21,000 unsold, making it one of the slowest-selling trucks in America. Industry inventory data continues to rank the Gladiator among the slowest-moving pickups on dealer lots. And this isn't just a sales chart problem, real people lost jobs over it. Stellantis cut a production shift at the Toledo plant as the company worked to reduce excess Gladiator inventory and align production with demand. Why the collapse? Price is a huge part of it. A Gladiator that starts in the 40s and quickly climbs into the 50s or beyond is a tough sell in today's market. Buyers start comparing it with mid-sized trucks that offer more payload, better fuel economy, quieter road manners, and lower ownership costs. Then there's the reality of what the Gladiator actually is. Hardcore Jeep fans love it. The problem is that most truck buyers aren't shopping for a Wrangler with a bed. They're shopping for a truck. And when those buyers compare the Gladiator against rivals like the Tacoma, Ranger, Colorado, or even some full-size trucks, a lot of them decide the Jeep's unique character isn't enough to justify the compromises. That's why the discounts haven't solved the problem. Dealers have been advertising thousands off sticker, bonus cash, and aggressive incentives for years. Yet inventory continues to pile up. Even Jeep owners on enthusiast forums regularly discuss double-digit discounts and heavy markdowns because demand simply isn't keeping pace with supply. So you've got a truck with legendary off-road capability, one of the most recognizable designs on the road, removable doors, a removable roof, and a fan base most brands would kill for. But you've also got shrinking demand, heavy competition, rising prices, and tens of thousands of units waiting for buyers. At number 2 sits what might be the biggest gap between hype and reality the truck world has ever seen: the Tesla Cybertruck. Rewind a few years, and this thing was a phenomenon. Stainless steel wedge, bulletproof image, more than 1 million reservations, and Elon Musk promising the factory would crank out up to 250,000 of them a year. Tesla even geared up production around that vision. So what actually happened? In 2024, the Cybertruck had its strongest year. Then in 2025, sales cratered to roughly 20,000 units. That's a tiny fraction of what Musk originally projected. And here's where it ties right into our theme. By early 2026, reports pointed to roughly 10,000 unsold Cybertrucks sitting in inventory. That's hundreds of millions of dollars worth of trucks waiting for buyers. Tesla also shifted resources away from Cybertruck production as demand cooled and inventory built up. So why aren't buyers showing up? Price is a huge part of it. What started life as a truck many people expected to be far cheaper ended up landing in roughly the $70,000 to $100,000 range depending on trim. That's serious money, especially when buyers can choose from proven gas-powered trucks, traditional heavy-duty pickups, or other EVs competing for the same dollars. Then there's the reality of ownership. A lot of truck buyers still care about long-distance towing, fast refueling, established service networks, and predictable resale values. The Cybertruck's futuristic design attracted enormous attention, but attention doesn't always translate into sales. It gets rougher. The Cybertruck has been hit with multiple recalls since launch, including one affecting more than 46,000 trucks because an exterior trim panel could detach while driving. Earlier recalls addressed other quality and safety concerns, creating exactly the kind of headlines you don't want when you're trying to convince skeptical buyers to spend this kind of money. And then there's depreciation. Used values have dropped hard, which makes potential buyers even more hesitant. When shoppers think a vehicle could lose tens of thousands of dollars in value in a short period of time, many simply stay on the sidelines. So you've got one of the most recognizable trucks ever built, one of the most talked about launches in automotive history, and one of the biggest hype machines the industry has ever seen. But you've also got slowing demand, growing inventory, quality concerns, fierce competition, and a price tag that's hard for many buyers to justify. The Cybertruck didn't fail because nobody noticed it. It failed because attention and demand turned out to be two very different things. But as bad as this is, the slowest selling truck in all of America is still ahead, and its own maker just killed it off. And here it is, number one, the truck that perfectly shows how hype and reality can end up on completely different roads. It's not some oddball startup experiment. It's a Ford F-150, the badge that's dominated American sales charts for decades. This is the F-150 Lightning, and its story is one of the biggest reality checks in the modern truck market. Think back to 2021. When Ford revealed the electric F-150, it was a sensation. More than 200,000 people lined up with reservations. It was promised as the truck that would bring America's best-selling pickup into the electric age. Awards poured in. Headlines were everywhere. On paper, it looked unstoppable. But the market had other ideas. Ford invested heavily in Lightning production and ramped up capacity, expecting enormous demand. The problem was that reservation excitement didn't translate into the level of long-term sales many expected. As prices climbed well above the early headline figures, the truck became a much tougher sell. And that's where the biggest problem starts. A lot of F-150 buyers use their trucks for towing, hauling, road trips, job sites, and long days behind the wheel. While the Lightning offers impressive technology, strong acceleration, and useful features like Pro Power Onboard, many truck buyers still have concerns about charging availability, charging time, and how towing can impact real-world driving range. Then comes the price question. A lot of shoppers looked at a Lightning and compared it directly with a gas-powered F-150. For many buyers, the traditional truck delivered familiar capability, nationwide refueling convenience, proven ownership history, and a lower purchase price. That's a difficult comparison for any electric truck to win, and the numbers reflect that challenge. By early 2026, Lightning inventory levels had climbed significantly, with dealers carrying months of supply waiting for buyers. Incentives and discounts helped, but they weren't enough to fully balance inventory with demand. Then there's resale uncertainty. Truck buyers tend to keep vehicles for years, sometimes decades. When future values are harder to predict, many shoppers become more cautious about spending premium truck money. That's what makes the Lightning so fascinating. The truck itself isn't the problem. It's quick, capable, innovative, and loaded with useful technology. The problem is that the people who made the F-150 America's best-selling truck didn't move to EVs as quickly as many analysts expected. So there you have it, 7 trucks rotting on dealer lots in 2026, from a little Hyundai nobody asked for to one of the biggest EV truck launches in automotive history, falling far short of expectations. Here's the real takeaway, though. Every truck on this list tells you the same thing. The market has changed. For years, dealers held all the cards. Trucks flew off the lot at sticker, and buyers had very little leverage. Not anymore. With full-size truck prices pushing deeper into luxury car territory, inventory piling up on dealer lots, and incentives making a comeback, buyers finally have some negotiating power again. So if you're shopping right now, use it. Walk onto that lot knowing how long these trucks have been sitting. Negotiate hard. Compare incentives. Shop multiple dealers. And whatever you do, especially with electric trucks, pay close attention to depreciation and resale value before you sign, because some of these can lose value shockingly fast. Now I want to hear from you. Which truck on this list surprised you the most? Was it the Jeep Gladiator piling up on dealer lots, the Cybertruck falling short of the hype, or the F-150 Lightning struggling to live up to expectations? Drop it in the comments. I read every one. And if this video helped you avoid an expensive mistake, make sure to hit like, subscribe, and ring that bell so you don't miss the next one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.